Hello, hello, Ignacy Szewczyk, Portal Games, and this is Spiel Digital, this is Portal Games at Spiel Digital, this is us bringing a live stream for you to talk with you about the games, to entertain you. This year at Spiel Digital, Portal Games has two main things happening. One is the live streams. We do altogether 28 unique live streams for 4 days, all day long. So these live streams, and this one is one of the live streams, and the other part is, of course, booth sales. So we have our web store full of special promotions, bundles, games that are basically out of print, but we have some left copies for you, playing mats, metal coins like that, all that kind of jazz. So either if you want to buy games in very good prices, unique games, go to our web store. And if you want to be entertained, hopefully watch our live streams and be entertained. So this is our plan for Essen Spiel Digital. I hope you're enjoying this Spiel Digital. It's slowly we are getting to end of the day number 2, so we are almost in the middle of the convention. For us, we already did 6 live streams yesterday, and this one is 3rd stream today, so and this 9th stream altogether for us for Essen Spiel. We are very happy that we have you, our fans, with us, that you are watching, that you are commenting, that you are very active on live stream. I really appreciate that. Benjamin says hello nerds, Farindel says hello everybody, hey, hello Ignacy, hello Luke, hi there. Really curious which games have a privilege to be in the interesting top 10. Hello all again. Absolutely. So I was coming to Essen for many years. My first Essen was 2005. I was a very young person, young Ignacy from the small city, and Essen Spiel in 2005 was not only my first time in Essen Spiel, it was my first time being on any fair, on any industry. So seeing basically halls full of people, full of product, full of different booths was a mind-blowing for me. Seeing these halls full of people, full of exhibitor halls, full of games was mind-blowing for me, and believe it or not, I will remember it till end of my life, because it was something very strange that happened. My brain, I'm serious, my brain just locked down. Too many emotions, too many things to apprehend, and at one point, in the speed of the second, I forgot everything about board games. As you guys know me from social media, I know about publishers, I know about designers, I know about the illustrators. This is my passion. I know everything about board games. This is my life. And then in a split second, I forgot. I mean, I don't know, this game, I think I heard about this. I was lost. And a few hours in the booth, in the halls, I met Angus Abramson. I knew him from internet. And I told him, Angus, I'm for the first time in Essen. I'm terrified. This is too much for me, too much emotions. This is, I cannot. Can I walk with you? And for the whole day, believe it or not, for the whole first day of Essen 2005, my first day in Essen ever, I was so blown away that I was walking with Angus. Thank you that he agreed. And I was just scared to just move anywhere else. And I spent the whole day with him. He was doing his business. Back then he was running a game store in London. So he was taking orders, he was making business deals. I was not, of course, interfering, but I was just going with him because it was too much. A young Ignacy at Essen, that was a mind-blowing experience. Over these many years, 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, every single year I was bringing games from Essen, building my collection. And today our top 10 is a top 10 games that stayed in my collection, that are in my collection over these years, because they were unique, because they were amazing, because I had some fond memories of them, and I decided I will never put them away from my collection. I see Paul is back, and Piotr is here, and Daciodo, of course, and Krumholtz, and Benjamin. Okay, I think we are ready to start. Before we start, many reviewers and many YouTube celebrities say that this top 10 is very hard to create, that the numbers are just for this moment, and the difference between number 6 and number 5 and number 4 and number 7 is not that big, and that these are the best 10 games. Of course, this is the same for me, and I went even further. So I didn't make the list, so I will just grab the random game from this stack, and in this stack I have around 10 games. I think I have a little bit more, but around 10 games, and I will just picking and showing to manifest that there is no particular order, that I love this game more than other game. This is just 10 games that over these years stayed in my collection and hopefully will be with me forever, because I appreciate them, because I love them, because they are unique and special for me. Are you ready? Are you ready? Got something like that on Iron Maiden concert. Yes, yes, yes. Too much emotions, right? You wait for that too long, and then you are there, and you are crazy. Let's do this, says Rico. So we are ready. And let's start with the Boomtown. And of course, chat, I love your interaction. So let me know if you ever heard about this game, if you have this game, if you never heard about this game, if this is really unique and you see it for the first time. Like, give me your comments, give me your feedback on this title that I picked today. Boomtown. Boomtown, released by Face to Face Games in America. Game from Bruno Catala and Bruno Faidutti, two of the most renowned French designers. Boomtown, released, I think it was 2005 or 6, I believe it's 6. And the game became extremely unsuccessful for a couple of years, not for 1 year, not for 2 years, for a couple of years. It was on sale during the Essen Spiel, and you were able to buy this game for €5. €5 for this game. I was buying boxes of these games, like stacks of these games, every single year in Essen, like 5 copies, 10 copies, and that was my stack of games that I brought to Poland, and then that was my gift for my friends. I want this game is amazing, have it. This is you have a birthday, have this game, it's amazing. So €5 for this game. I have no clue why this game was unsuccessful, why this game became the whole print run on sale, while everybody was getting rid of this game on stores. Amazing, one of the best games, believe it or not, one of the best games from Bruno Catala and Bruno Faidutti. Auctioning a game, you are building your mines, you are cowboys, and you are building a business, and this auction game, one of the best games from Bruno Catala and Bruno Faidutti, bought for €5, and I bought like 20 or 30 copies of this game and gave away to my friends here in Poland. Tell me in the comments if you saw this on a sale in Essen, if you bought it, if you heard about this game. Let me check. Benjamin says he played it at BGGCon. Did you like it, Ben? Never heard of it, and hope to see more like that today, says Kuba. I have 2 copies, one for each of my girls. Exactly, Paul. Kuba, you know this game because this game was released in Poland as Piraci, and it was released by Egmont. And the story behind, I brought this game, I love this game, and in the summertime I went for a vacation with the with the director of Egmont, Polish publisher. We played this game, he loved this game, and he said Egmont needs to publish it in Polish. And I contacted him with Bruno Faidutti. I helped them get to know each other, and I did the networking, and Polish edition of this game called Piraci, Pirates, is thanks to Ignacy. Thank you, Ignacy, you did a great job. I know. And I know that this game became extremely successful in Poland. The Polish print run was very big, and the game was very successful, and I believe that we sold more copies in Poland than all other places over the world. So Polish edition of the game, Boomtown, called Piraci, very, very successful in Poland. Rest of the world for €5. Guys, this is a scandal. Amazing game. Try to find it. Ben says, I played it with you, Chevy, Jeff, and Mary. Of course I did. I think you complained about our gameplay. I always complain, so it's true. Yes, hello. Maybe released by Portal of these games. Yeah, I would love to do it once again. I don't know why it was not successful. We need to move. Game I brought from my first Essen, 2005. The game called Varu Mono, and this is Varu Mono 2. This is second part. This is second edition. There was a Varu Mono, but this is Varu Mono 2. I challenge you, if there is any person in the chat who ever heard about this game, this is a game released by a Japanese publisher. I get it at Essen because back then, many years ago, Bruno Faidutti ran a blog. It was a very successful blog, very popular blog, and before BGG became popular, Tom Vassell even became a reviewer, we all read Bruno Faidutti reviews, and Bruno Faidutti somehow get this copy, reviewed the game, and the review was very positive, and I came to Essen, I saw this Japanese game, very unique, impossible to get anywhere else. The lights. Impossible to get anywhere, and I said, I get it, Varu Mono 2, it will be a gem in my collection. And here we are 16 years ago, I still have this game. It's stupid as shit, I don't want to play it, but it is a gem, so I'm not getting rid of this. But to be honest, it was pure in Bruno's Faidutti style. That means a lot of chaos, a lot of bluffing, a lot of changes of situation, lots of randomness. A great game, but I don't play games like that anymore. But Varu Mono 2, game from Japan, and the premise of the game, the theme of the game is amazing. You are gangsters. After the heist, there is a suitcase with money, and you try to get to the airport to run away. To get from the airport, you have to have a passport and visa, and players exchange under the table between each other the count of the suitcase, the count of the visa, the count of the passport, and a couple of other cards to mess with that. And at any point of the game, we have no clue. If you have a suitcase, or if you have a passport, or somebody else has a passport, somebody else has a suitcase, you are sticking to each other. Lots of chaos, lots of uncertainty, lots of bluff. Fun game. I don't play it anymore. It has a lot of dust on it, but gem in my collection, Varu Mono 2 from Japan, Essen 2005. And now I'm checking the chat if you guys ever heard about this game. Now that's weird looking. Yep, never seen that one. Never heard of it. I like Japanese games a lot. Gold River, and now supports 2 players. So Gold River is a new edition of Boomtown. I didn't know that it was reprinted, so very good. So guys, check it out. Gold River is amazing. That's for sure. Toy Babo says he never heard about Varu Mono, so this is my pick. I guess they printed it in 500 copies, brought to Essen, sold out, and never reprinted. So one day maybe it will be very expensive, if I want to say it on eBay. So Boomtown, amazing game. I strongly recommend. Paul says it is now Gold River, so check it out. Varu Mono, impossible to get, is a unique game. Let me grab another copy. So I guess it's 2006. There is a small Belgian company who nobody heard about them, but they have a big sombreros. They called Repos Production. They have this funny party game called Cash and Guns. I approached them as a very young publisher from Poland, discussing with this young Belgian publisher and discussing Polish edition of Cash and Guns. And we talk, we meet each other, we consider different options. In the end, I don't do Polish edition of Cash and Guns, and I don't have enough money to do a print run. And although we became friends, we became to know each other, I never do the Polish edition. But I have this copy. This is as old. This is the first edition from the first Essen, and because the game was back then sold out, they gave me as a sample to consider Polish edition, like a printed rulebook, like from the sample. I have these farm things. I have my upgraded version, so if you prefer a better theme, I have that, and I have that. And after these 16 years, I still love this game. I still sometimes play this game. Every time I play it, and every time I present it to new players who never heard about Cash and Guns, there are such players, they love it. Cash and Guns, 2006, my first interaction with Repos Production, my first interaction with this young independent studio from Belgium, who becomes then one of the biggest publishers in the world. And this is the gem. This is the box when they were small, when they were not famous, when they were just like Ignace, a small independent studio. Cash and Guns in my collection. I love this game. Buy the new edition because the first one is not available. Have it. Great party game and gem in my collection. to remember that in 2006 we all were just starting in the industry. We all were just young and believing in the dreams. And it worked for me, it worked for them, and I'm very, very happy for all of us. And I'm checking the chat. I have Cash and Guns and the Yakuza expansion. I do. I have that. Perfect. A classic. Cash and Guns 2nd edition made some really good updates to this. This is the perfect game to pull out at the party. I just wish it all fit into the base box with all the expansions. Perfect. Upgraded version is the best. You may scare people if you play with the upgraded components in public. When I look at this, yeah, pointing at somebody with such a gun, it may be confusing, but I play at home, of course. So, Boomtown, amazing, amazing game. Varu Mono, weird, strange game. Cash and Guns, amazing game, and the memory of me and the Repos Production being a small companies back then. What we have else here? So, this is a game, but this is a manifest of the more of the like a genre. This is a game called Design Town. This is a game from Japan, but this is basically my manifest that for Essen, what I appreciate in Essen every single year, that we can go to this Japan brand booth. I think this one is from Taiwan, not from Japan, but basically from the far east countries. Amazing, amazing game. And all these Asian games, they're all amazing. They are unique, they are smart, they are minimalistic in the form, but they are very thinky. I appreciate them a lot. Every single year in Essen, my goal, my aim is to bring one of these gems, and I have quite a collection of these games, and almost never I was disappointed. Almost always these games are amazing. I respect, I appreciate the talent of Eastern designers. Design Town is no different. It's amazing. It's a deck building game, but in a very, very minimalistic way. Not many cards, but so many important choices. And Japanese games and Taiwan games and Chinese games, all that. Very, very interesting, very impressive. I appreciate the school, this design school, and Design Town is one of them. Throw me the comments if you have. Visit the Asian developers first when at Spiel. Yep, don't know that one. Design Town is a great game. TMG did a version 2, Flip City, yes, very unique, like a press your luck mechanic, just don't drop your cards. Design Town is great. People in the US may know it as a Flip City from TMG. I think this is the same game called Flip City, correct. Strong recommendation from Ignacy, and strong recommendation for you to browse, to look for these independent games. And of course, we know there are these giants like Simon, like Asmodee, like these big game companies who bring titles that are amazing, well play tested, well produced, and we love all these shiny new games from these big companies. But then you find a gem like that, you are mind blown with this unique, fresh design. And this one is as many other Japanese games. So this is in my collection, once again from far Asia, in my collection. Who played this? Oltre Mare. Oltre Mare is a game from Emanuele Ornella, and this is a game that has amazing story. This small box, it is old times Essen. This is 2006, 2004, 2005. This is old times. Emanuele Ornella, a very talented, amazing Italian designer, published this game by himself. He came to Essen. He had a very small booth. He was presenting and selling this game at Essen, and he sold out. The game was amazing. Everybody loved the game. There was viral information that Oltre Mare is so interesting, so unique, so new. After the show, he signed a contract with Amigo Spiele, one of the biggest German publishers, and Amigo Spiele released this game in a new version, in a big box. Believe it or not, they changed this game in a big box game. Why not? And it became like a fairy tale, like a small independent designer paying for his own print run, coming to Essen, selling all the copies he brought, signing a contract with one of the biggest German publishers, and becoming this famous designer. I met Emmanuel a few years later in France at Bruno's Veduti convention. Amazing person, I love him, funny, intelligent, very smart designer. And I have this gem in my collection, and I bought it in the second-hand market. Even though this Amigo Spiel big box edition was available, and I was able to buy it with these beautiful components, beautiful board, etc., etc., I said no, I want this fairy tale edition. I want this edition from this first print run. I want this edition that has a story, that has this amazing piece of memories of Emanuel Ornella being a young designer coming to Essen for his dreams and getting these dreams and getting this success. Ultramar is a unique game of trading resources, and the team is very simple, but the mechanism is very smart, and you should check it out and try to hunt down a copy. And if you are looking for like games that are unique and have a unique story and unique development history, Ultramar is here. Eager to see if you ever heard about this game. Never heard of this one. Somebody is suggesting me, if you want to become a famous by a followers. Dear bot, I'm already famous. You are talking to the wrong YouTuber. I'm very famous. I don't need more followers. Ultramar, Merchants of Venice, unique story of a young designer coming to Essen and becoming a famous designer. Ultramar, I strongly recommend, and it reminds me that we need to play this after hours, because I think that my team haven't played this. Did you play it?
No.
No. You would love it. You will like it. We will play it and the next after hours, because very smart design. What's next? A Handful of Stars.
I always want to play this one.
And next after hours then. I always say that.
Exactly.
A Handful of Stars. Once again, there is a story. This is a Martin Wallace game. This is the last Martin Wallace game released under the Tree Frog brand, Tree Frog company. That was his last game released as a Tree Frog. It was a limited print run. He was saying goodbye to the line. The story with this game is quite mind-blowing for me. I'm not sure if this is mind-blowing for you, but for me it's mind-blowing. We were at Essen. Ignacy very busy as always, running all around the place, running demos, taking selfies, etc. And suddenly Martin Wallace, His Majesty Martin Wallace, is approaching me with this copy of the game and telling Ignacy, this is the last game released by Tree Frog Games, and I want you to have this copy. And he gifted me the game. He said, have fun, shake my hand, and left. And that was like absolutely mind-blowing moment. The designer that I respect tremendously, I appreciate his work, I admire his work, one of the industry legends and icons, approaches me, gives me his game as a gift, and said that he wants me to have it. And he leaves. And absolutely memory to remember forever. I played this game with my wife Mary many times. The game is brilliant, it's amazing, it's a 4X game. You are conquering planets, you are developing technologies, you are building your ships, you are building your fleets. Everything that you want to have in a sci-fi game, there is in this game. And combined amazing game with the collector's value that this is the last print of Tree Frog Games, and it was the game that closed the line, and combined with this sentimental moment that he personally approached me and he handed me the copy as a gift. I will never get rid of this game. It's amazing and it has so much value for me in a sentimental way. So A Handful of Stars, I strongly recommend. I guess it is very expensive in the secondary market because, as I said, it was the last game in the line, so it is very hard to get. But if you have any chance at least to play at some convention, if you have any chance to get this game, it's amazing. And for me, as I said, mind-blowing moment when Martin Wallace comes to me and gives me a gift. This is a number something. a handful of stars. And I'm looking in the chat if you played this game.
Paul says one of the first games I played with my family.
Yep. I own the big box version of Voltremare. So the Amigo Spiele, exactly. Handful of stars, wow. I like that cover art. Same game system as A Few Acres of Snow. The cover looks amazing. The cover is amazing, the game is amazing, and once again, one of the gems in my collection, a handful of stars. So now something small.
Crabs!
Crabs, did you play it?
You don't... You really don't remember?
I'm old.
We
So-
bring it from the Essen 2015?
So this is a very small game, Crabs, and this small box has only a dozen of bigger cards and a dozen of smaller cards, and it looks like a classical party game or like a filler game, like Amigo Spiele, Bonanza style game. As you know, all these card games that you can buy at Essen for €10 and have fun for 15 minutes. Crabs. This is one of the heaviest euro I have in my collection. This is mind-blowing how these Taiwan designers made it possible to create full-blown Euro game, complex, engaging, challenging, thinky, in just a few cards and in a small box. Of course, they had never chance to make any splash because you Eurogamers, you want these Caverna big boxes, you want these Agricola big boxes. When you play Eurogame, you need all these barrage, all these tiles and cardboard, and if the box doesn't weigh 10 kilos, you don't appreciate that. These Taiwanese designers made a full-blown Eurogame experience in a small box.
I remember and when we were playing all the games from Essen 2015 and we were tired and we said, okay, one more games, and somebody says, oh, there's a little box, oh crap, so look, that cover looks funny, and we start playing, and that was devastating for our brains.
Very thinky, very interesting, very good game. Crabs, I guess, impossible to get these days. We brought it. I don't know how it ended up in our collection when we were coming from Essen. If we get a sample or somebody bought it from the company, I have no clue. But after we played, I immediately get hold of this copy and I said, I'm taking it home to play with Mary, and this game is at my home. Crabs from Taiwan, super surprise, unexpectedly heavy Euro in a very, very small box. I want to play Stars and Crabs. Yep. So these are these games. What next? This one is called Palace Geflüster. I have no clue what does it mean in German, so I cannot translate it. And once again, this one is a manifestation, like it's a sample of the whole line of games released by the German publisher Adlungsspiele. I don't have much knowledge about the German market, so I have no insight about Adlungsspiele, besides the fact that they are at every single Spiele. They have a booth in this main big hall number 3. They're always there. They are, I guess, traditional, long-established company in Germany. If there's anybody here from Germany, you can learn me. You can teach me and give more insight. So I know that Adlungsspiele was in Germany forever. They are well established. They have always releasing new games for Essen. So this is one piece of information I have about them. The other piece of information I have about them is their artwork manager should be fired like 20 years ago and never hired again. All their games looks terrible. I'm so sorry if you are watching, Mr. or Mrs. Artwork Department for Adlungsspiele, please change your occupation, change your job. These games look super ugly. The artwork is terrible. The components value is terrible. This is just the deck of the cards in a very crappy box. It looks like a game I was racing 20 years ago, and they are still going to Essen every single year and racing games in this crappy version. But the twist here is that each of these games is amazing, and I cannot explain how puzzling it is for me. If they hire a different production manager, if they hire a different artwork manager, they would probably be one of the most discussed publishers in the world. Their games are amazing, but they are still in this niche of a German publisher who doesn't give a crap about the production value, they doesn't give a crap about the artwork, they are just publishing amazing, amazing designs that I play with my eyes closed because I cannot look at these cards. Palance Geflüster is a game from Michael Reineck, do I remember correctly? Yes, Michael Reineck, designer of Pillars of the Earth. Amazing game, Pillars of the Palance Geflüster, but they have so many other great games. Verräter, Fixit, Moitoyer. I have a whole collection of Adlungsspiele. They all look terrible. They're all amazing. If you go through the Essen next year, go to their booth, Adlungsspiele, buy random 5 games, and you will be happy. I'm doing it every single year. I go to their booth. I do no research. I do no preparation. I just ask them, what do you have new this year? They point me at 3 games, and I'm buying one of them randomly. And I was never disappointed. So great company. This is one of many gems in my collection from Adlungsspiele, Palance Geflüster, and I strongly recommend most of the games they ever released. And now I'm going to learn about, if you know about Adlungsspiele. Adlung, love them. Flüster means whispering. Makes sense for the theme of the game. Die Kutschfahrt zur Teufelsburg, so good. So this is a recommendation of their game, and yet he likes it. Same here. I usually buy a game or two looking for that diamond in the rough at the convention, that is. Correct. So this is exactly a case for me for Essen Spiele. I go to the booth for Adlungsspiele, I buy a random game, and I'm always happy. So that was the first part of the games, but I have a few more. So this first Essen, 2005, Ignacy is for the first time in Essen, and Niagara, I don't know how to pronounce it in English, Niagara, wins Spiel des Jahres. And for the first time in my life, I see how publisher reacts when they win Spiel des Jahres. The booth is amazing. They have this XXL huge game version. They have these crowds buying this game. There's these stocks of the game. Everybody has the Niagara in their hand. Everybody is buying this game. I see for the first time what does it mean to get Spiel des Jahres and how many people are buying this game, how much buzz this game has, how many demos there are. Like, this is insane. And Niagara will be forever with me because, of course, I brought it with me home as well. Everybody was buying Niagara. I bought it as well. I loved the game, so I had a great time playing it, and it was my first Spiel des Jahres that I was engaging with, that I was tasting, that I was there when everybody was celebrating that this is the game of the year, this is a Spiel des Jahres game, and I bought it, and I loved it, and it's a great game. I think this is out of print right now. I'm not sure if this is available in America or in other countries. In Poland it was released a couple of years ago, but it was not reprinted later, so it is unavailable here anymore. Great game, quite difficult for these times. Like these days, I think it will be difficult to publish a game like that. It has points that you have spent on the actions. It has a movement of the board that is very confusing. Like, this is a complex game compared for the Spiel des Jahres. If you know that in these days Spiel des Jahres goes to just one super simple game, this would be Kenner Spiel des Jahres these days. Is a complex but very good game, family game. Niagara in my collection, it will stay with me forever because it was my first Essen, it was my first Spiel des Jahres game bought at Essen. And I'm looking once again at the chat. Verräter and Moitoyer, exactly, great games. That has those plastic circles that go down the river. So exactly, I'm talking a lot about my impressions, but not about gameplay. This is the game that has a 3D board, three-dimensional board. So we are using this box. You put the board on this box, and you have this a situation that these plastic pieces pretend to be water. They are moving down. There's here on the back of the box. You can die just going down. So it has 3D dimensional board. Very, very interesting, very thinky game, and in my collection forever. I saw Niagara in stores a long time ago, but never got it. I played it once. Tytunio Wierz says, yes, nice game. Do you have the expansion and the mini expansion Diamond Joe? Gian, you collectors, obsessed, crazy dude. I think I have this diamond dude. I don't have anything else for that, but I believe that I had this diamond dude somewhere here or in the separate place. No, I don't have a diamond dude here, but somewhere I have it. Niagara, very good game. One of the gems in my collection brought from Essen. And the king is the only one. The king, Marek played this game 2 or 3 weeks ago.
I think so, something like 2 weeks. And have my own also copy, German version.
There is this rule that if you go to Essen, you always go to second-hand game stores that are in Essen, so you can buy used games, and you must buy El Grande and bring it home. Like, this is a tradition for every Essen attendee, and for all of us, these collectors who start their collection, it is the event of the show to find the copy of El Grande, the old copy of El Grande from 90s, to buy it for 20 euro and bring it home and tell your friends, show your friends, and I have it. El Grande, the king. El Grande is one of the first, if not the first, area control game. The game that started the whole Kemet, Einish, Cry Havoc, and all these other games. It's thinky, it's brutal, it's elegant. It has all the features of amazing game. It's one of the best games out there. Spiel des Jahres 1996. Once again, it's funny to compare these old Spiel des Jahres winners with modern Spiel des Jahres winners like Just One. These days, Spiel des Jahres is very simple games for the mass market. Back then, it was a gamer's game. El Grande. Terrible cover. But besides that, amazing game. You need to have it in your collection. If you're a Portal Games fan, that means that you love strategy game, that you love Cry Havoc, that you love 51st State, that you love Hiroshima Hex. That means that you will love El Grande. Every employee of Portal Games, Marek, me, Gianna, all of us, we love El Grande. We play it on a regular basis. A king in my collection.
And come on, horse on the art work on the cover looks pretty awesome.
This horse is amazing. Wolfgang Kramer, the good old master designer, in my collection. Bought it back then, played it, hated it. I think the red pawn led me to the thing Alhambra Catan. Played it again just a couple of weeks ago, super fun. So Rico hated it and now he loves it. I appreciate the change of the taste because it is amazing. El Grande is one of the best 5-player games and by far the best area control. Good pick, I absolutely agree. I want to play El Grande, seen it, but never got it and played it. Legends, you need to have it to try it. This is one of the grail games, one of the classic games that every board gamer should play at least once. We have here German edition, we play in German. It adds a little bit of flavor to try to understand all these special powers, and we love it. El Grande is the grandpa of area control and still one of the best. Absolutely, yes. And we have 2 boxes left. 2 boxes left. I promised top 10. I think there's more than 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, it's already 10. I don't care. This is my live stream. I can do my rules. So it is top 10 with 12 games. Essen 2016, the whole world discusses pandemic legacy, the biggest hype in the history of board gaming. No other game in the history had a bigger hype. No other game was so much discussed, so much hyped. No other game sold out with the number of 100,000 copies just in opening day. The craziness of the pandemic legacy, you all guys remember, craziness of pandemic legacy reaching number 1 spot on board game ranking in a few weeks after release. We all were blown away with pandemic legacy. Myself, Ignacy, was working at the Portal Games booth and had no chance to buy the game because I was busy, because I had business meetings, because I had the demos, because I had the interviews, and I just saw all these people at Essen having copy of Pandemic Legacy, and then I heard the rumor it is sold out, everybody have it, I don't have it because I was freaking working. And then something happens. Friend of mine, my close industry friend JF from Zeman Games, now he's working at Panda manufacturer, and JF is approaching me, and I see that he has something, and I smile, and he says, I have a gift for you. I saw you were very busy, but I have a gift for you. And he hands me this very copy of Pandemic Legacy, and I don't know if you see it in the camera, I can bring it a little bit closer to the camera. There is a dedication for Ignacy, Matt Leacock, and Rob Devieux. Back then, I didn't know personally Matt or Rob. Now we are friends, but back then they were these icons designers, these master designers, these great designers I never talked to, and having these out of print Pandemic Legacy handed to me by my friend JF with the dedication for me from these master designers, mind-blowing. I will remember this moment forever. We played the Pandemic Legacy in the office. I still have my notes because back then I was designing First Martians, so we were learning about the campaign games, we were learning how to design a campaign, so I was playing Pandemic Legacy and I was making all the notes about what I like in this game, what I love in this solution, so I still have these notes. Pandemic Legacy sold out at Essen, but I brought a copy with me home with dedication from Rob and Matt. I appreciate that. One of the another gems in my collection, one of the gems brought from Essen. And what the chat says, still haven't played this. Hello! And Tropical says, yes, now we are talking. Signed, nice. Played season 1 and 2 last year, so good. Many people ask me what are the games I'm looking forward from this Essen Pandemic Zero. Absolutely yes, as you guys know, I just finished working on Vienna Connection, my spy game, so having chance to play Pandemic spy game is quite a good idea for me to be in the theme. Love and Kisses, great story, thank you for that. And the last game in my collection, Mall of Horror. In many interviews, in many talks with you on the channel, on social media, I always say this is my favorite game of all time. Mall of Horror, #1 for Ignacy, for the games that I ever played. I absolutely love it, and the story behind that is very interesting because I heard about this game from the Bruno's Faiduti blog. Back then, as I mentioned, he was a reviewer and he was reviewing games, and I heard about this. So I went to Essen 2005 or 6, and I was trying to buy this game, trying to find this game, and no store, no booth had it. It was impossible to find it. Nobody had it. Everybody was saying it is sold out, sold out, sold out, sold out. And then in the hall #6, far away from the entrance, like end of the world, I found a booth and they had copy of this game, and it costed €50. And back then, for young Ignacy, €50 was a price that was impossible to pay. It was like for me now €400, €500. Like I was poor, I was this young dude from Poland. €50 was like my whole budget for the Essen. Like I couldn't afford that. So I said, I can't afford it, and I went looking for other copies, but nobody had copies. Everybody was saying it is sold out, it is impossible to buy. And I said, better this game is good. I came back and I spent my whole budget on this game. I just bought this game, Mall of Horror. I gave this guy this €50. I was crying inside me. It was all money I had, but I bought it. I brought it home. And it was amazing, and it was worth every single euro I spent. It was, compared to my financial situation back then, in proportion. That was probably most expensive game I ever bought. Like it was really all money I got, but I bought it. I loved it. Since then I played it many times. It's one of absolutely my favorite games of all time. Mall of Horror. It is the game with the direct negative interaction. I don't know if you know anything about this game. This game is the game that you are in the mall. Each player has 3 characters. The mall is attacked by the zombies. Players are hiding their characters in different stores in this mall. These stores are stormed by the zombies. And if the number of zombie figures is bigger than the number of characters in this particular store, players at the table start negotiating and voting, hidden voting, which player is going to be sacrificed, sent to zombies, and killed and removed from the game. This is the game that at the table you are negotiating and discussing which player will be eliminated. There is no other game that is so ruthless, so brutal, so much creating angry management problems. I love it. I love how we negotiate. I love how we argue. I love how we hate each other, what's happening at the board. And on top of this negotiation, on top of this trash talk, on top of these absolutely fierce discussions and arguments, there is a ton of game in that. There is thinking, there's special cards, there are special abilities, there's moments when you can think, and there's this whole story that I told in many interviews that back then, in a gaming club, I was winning this game week after week, week after week, week after week, and in the gaming club, people said, okay, we need to make Ignacio lose the game. We always vote against him. That was the rule. And for the 6 consequent weeks, gaming sessions, I was winning. Even though the whole gaming club was against me, I was losing all the votes, and still I was able to win because the game is smart. Because besides trash talk, besides talking and negotiating, you can think smart, you can escape from one shop to other shop, you can play a special card, you can fix some problem situations, and you can survive even though everybody at the table hates you. And everybody at the table wants you to lose, and you can still win. So I won 6 games in a row. I was very proud of that, and I absolutely love this game. We play this game very rare and not very often because there's so many wrong emotions in the game, and there's so many arguments, but I love it. One of the gems in my collection.
But every year's at least once.
At least once, if we go for like after hours weekend in the mountains with the team or somewhere like that, we have a situation and we say, okay, so now we play this, we will hate each other after end, but it's gonna be amazing. Let's do brutal negotiation with each other, and all my employees love this game. I love it. Well spent €50. Congratulations to the designer. I absolutely admire this game and this design because of how he managed to merge logical rules that I can play, move my pawns, and dodge from the problems and omit the problems, and he merged that with negotiations and brutal table talk. Brilliant. These are my gems from Essen. As I said, I was going to Essen for 16 consecutive years, 16 times I was bringing many games home, and these are some of the examples that stayed with me for all these years. This game from 2005 for 16 years in my collection. There are lots of memories, lots of great time with that. And I hope that you have your memories, that you have your games, your gems that you brought from home, from Essen. Ross, this is fun comment. Ross said, I played this game once more than 10 years ago and I could not remember the name. Thank you for reminding me. So you're welcome. Mall of Horror, amazing game. If your group wanted you to lose, they should have invited me. I beat you at all games, says Jacob. Jacob, that's true. Cromwell says, if you could publish one of these games, which one it would be, except Pandemic? Mall of Horror would be very true to my heart, to my marketing, to my narration for the company. El Grande would be so true for our customers, for our fans, for the people who love Crime Havoc and Hiroshima Hex. A Handful of Stars as a 4X science fiction game for our fans would be a great pick. But of course, I love all of these games. I would love to publish all of them, to have rights for Polish market for all of them. Great games, all of them. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being with us at Spiel Digital. I hope you are enjoying your time with our streams and all other streams. I'm going to finish. It's almost 7 p.m. Right now in Poland. In a few minutes, we start the next part of the streams. We will have 3 streams right now. We will have a gameplay of Monolith Arena Golems. Golems is a new expansion that releases yesterday. That releases this Essen. So Captain Link, our Twitch celebrity, is playing against David, the Monolith Arena Golems. Then, after they are done, they are playing in Narushima Convent. It's the game I designed many years ago, and now it is available for Google Play and Android devices and iOS devices. So they are going to play online multiplayer, David versus Captain Link. Captain Link is a huge fan of Narushima, and David already played this against his brother Paul, so I have no clue who will win. And then when they finish, Captain Link once again will stream, and he will play Narushima Hex Troglodytes, the newest addition to Narushima Hex world. So now I go home, I go to rest, and Captain Link takes the stream in charge, and he will create amazing gameplays for you. 3 gameplays, 3 another hours of streams, and then see you tomorrow. We start tomorrow 10 a.m. Polish time with my stories about Essen. I guess that the people who are here today with me on the chat, they love this story. So we start 10 a.m. with my stories from previous Essens, and then we talk about the new expansion for Robinson Crusoe, etc. So stay with us. Once again, a reminder, go to our booth, check out our web store, check out our promotions. We have some copies of the games in a very low stock, so it's the last moment to grab them in a very good price. I appreciate you being with me. I appreciate that I'm talking to camera, but on the other side of the camera there are our fans and people, our friends. So I appreciate that you are with us, and thank you for everything. So now it's Captain evening exactly. Have a good one. Stage is now for the Captain.